network's flagship political platform, through which trending political news, events, and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actor to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. Today on Open Air, we'll look at first party politics. Abia governor says opposition parties can join Labour Party. Still on Abia State, Governor Otis says he inherited 192 billion naira debt from predecessor. Abia State government dethrones traditional ruler for misconduct. And on to Ondo polls, APC promises free, fair primary elections. Kogi Tribunal, Governor Ododo, APC to open defense against SDP. Party politics. Kwakwanso describes NMPP as alternative to PDP, APC. And on corruption, group accuses 35 governors of hiding palliative money. On politics, El Rufai set for showdown with Tinubu. And on hardship, NMPP chieftain berates Nigerians over voting Tinubu, APC. And on NEDC corruption, whistleblower alleges threat to life. Insecurity, Boko Haram ambush kills army officer, soldiers. Do not go away. When I come back from this break, we'll delve right into the show.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Open Air on Atlantic Television Network. With me on the show this morning is Honorable Churchill Wale, a politician and political analyst. Good morning, Honorable Churchill.
Good
welcome
morning.
to Open Air.
Good morning. Happy Sunday to you.
I wish you the same. It's a pleasure having
My
you.
pleasure to you.
All right. Abia State Governor Alex Oti has said that the doors of the Labour Party would not be closed against members of the opposition party who are wishing to cross the carpet. Oti, who stated this at Abia State Government House, Omaya, during his media chat with Abia people, said that a political party is like a church where you cannot stop somebody who has come to worship from entering. He, however, made it clear that the good governance presently going on in the state cannot be changed or affected by the entrance of people from the opposition party. Honorable Churchill, first, as a politician, what do you think of this statement?
The statement is a means of lobbying for the growth of his party in his own state.
A means of lobbying?
Lobbying for the growth of his party in his own state.
So by that statement, he's flinging open the doors.
He wants people
Labour
to
Party.
join Labour Party.
Okay.
So Labour Party can be, he can have the structure, have a better structure in Abia State. Because when you are throwing it up, just like, I know too well, like I've said it before this time in this station, that Labour Party became a party and a known party today because of the level of candidates and the quality of candidates they springed in the last election. Particularly when we're talking about the presidential candidate, Peter Obi, is somebody that the entire Nigeria was expecting that he would be the one to win the election, of which it didn't happen. And I know too well that Oti also, that Abia State people were very, very happy to see him flag the flag of Labour Party in Abia State. That's why they voted him massively to ensure that he wins as the governor, of which he succeeded in winning. Today, he is the governor of Abia State. It's the masses that voted him, but he wants, what he's looking for now is a better formidable structure.
Okay.
To have a ground that when the next election comes, because it's only the structure that determines the strength of the party.
Okay.
So he is looking at people, credible and strong persons joining Labour Party to ensure that he will be sure of 2027, his second tenure. So that is why he's making it open for people to understand that they can also receive members as Labour Party. And by the grace of God, he's also showing some capacity in development, mostly infrastructure development. He's building Abia State. And you know, Abia State, Aba is a very, very strong place in Abia State.
Yes, of course.
So when you are doing anything in Aba, Abia State will be celebrating. If you are doing anything in Aba, the business area of Abia State, everybody in Abia State will be celebrating.
Not just Abia State, but people that have left Abia State.
Yes, they will be
Aba
celebrating
particularly because of the
and you know, the governors that has, yes, the governors that has been there before this time has never shown attention. They've never given attention to that of Aba, precisely Osisoma and this area,
Yes.
to make sure they build their roads. You know, one time I went to Aba and there was a very heavy heavy rainfall. So after the raining, we wanted to go. My vehicle couldn't even enter the road because the whole place was messed up. The road was filled up. I mean, when I tell you that day, we waited for like 3 hours before we could drive out from the place we were. So Oti himself is doing well. So he wants people to join him. And when they join him, it will give him and the party more grant to make sure that 2027 is a very ascertained one. It's sure.
Now, could this call be, this lobbying, like you put it, could it be coming from, you know, a place of, you know, in recent times in Abia State, there has been a lot of defections, you know, political alignment and realignment. It appears to be what is, you know, ongoing currently, generally within the political sphere in Nigeria. But in Abia State, you know, people have moved from different political parties to APC and PDP, as the case may be, and not one has been recorded to have moved to Labour Party. Now, one would wonder, you know, with the level of governance going on currently in Abia State and how popular the governor is in Abia State and how popular, again, Labour Party is in Abia State, one would wonder, why are politicians not moving to Labour Party? Now, you laughed when I said how popular Labour Party is. Yes. And I will give you a reason why I said that. Now,
I will also tell you why I laughed. I will also tell you why I laughed.
For a period of years, I think over 16 years or thereabout, PDP has been the stronghold in Abia State. And Abia State has not witnessed governance in the real sense of the word. Politics, yes.
Well, let's not talk about
hold on. Okay. I can tell you for a fact because I come from there. I was born there. I grew up there. I went to school there.
And I will also tell you one or two too.
So I will tell you for a fact that Abia State, particularly Aba, has not witnessed governance. And you said it yourself. So to a large extent, you know, people were disillusioned with the party because of the, you talk about you talk about T.A. Oji, you talk about Ojo Zokalo. These are people that have handed over batons directly to their anointed ones. From Ojo Zokalo directly to T.A. Oji. From T.A. Oji directly to Okezi Bazu, who was then the ASEPA chairman in Abia State. Correct. And while Okezi Bazu was the ASEPA chairman, Abia State was at his dirtiest, particularly Aba. And then he became the governor, and well, you know what happens. The rest is out there anyway.
Now, he did one particular
thing. The flyover.
Yes.
The flyover. Yes. What's the quality of the flyover?
But he did flyover.
With what exactly?
With the funds of the.
How come Abia people are not passing through the flyover? Everybody takes down, but nobody takes up.
Why are they scared of taking down?
Why are
they scared of taking up?
But you said he did one thing. And for how many years did he do that flyover? How many kilometers is the flyover go? How many meters? How many miles? How many?
No, but I passed. Okay, you were talking about.
Have you observed?
No, you were talking about that there was no governance.
Now, when you're going through Abia State next time,
you were talking about there was no governance.
Nobody flies up.
No, you accused my party. You understand?
Yeah, as a PDP man, and that was why I brought it up.
Accused my party that for 16 years that they've been, or more
than 16.
There's 16 plus 8, that is 24 years we've been in the governance of Abia State.
Yes.
That there was nothing like governance.
Let's have that conversation.
No, you said there was nothing like governance.
Yes.
Okay, I want to also assure you that Abia State, the road that leads to Umaya, was also done by PDP government. Are you aware of that?
The road that leads to Umaya
from Umaya,
you mean Port Harcourt Enugu Expressway?
Expressway.
You mean Port Harcourt Enugu Expressway?
No. The road is that the road that leads from Towa to Umaya. You understand? PDP government did that road. You understand?
Are you aware that? Are you aware that currently?
Wait, let me finish. I want to count so many. You are only targeting looking at Aba.
Are you aware again? Hold on. You asked a question.
Okay.
I am going to give you an answer. Are you aware that currently that road in a state of disrepair, and Alex Oti is fixing that road?
That road in a state of disrepair, when you know too well that a road that has lasted more than 20 years.
Now, if a road has lasted more than 20 years,
which was fixed by a PDP governor, how come
other governors could not fix the road?
When you are talking
the
about...
governors, are they not in your party?
When you are talking about the governors that inherited from the first governor, who is Oji Zokalo, that did that road. Oji Zokalo did that road.
Okay.
Oji Zokalo also did so many roads. Oji Zokalo did so many roads. What we are talking about, the only area...
Oji Zokalo is from Abriba, correct?
Yes, now, he did roads in Abriba.
Recently, I was in Abriba not too long ago.
No,
like 3 weeks ago.
You can't accuse my party
are you aware,
of not showing capacity in governance and our
even in the village where the governor comes from, the road is bad.
Because
like,
the past governors,
currently,
because the former governors have refused to do it.
Governor Oti, no, as at the time he was a governor.
Yeah.
Do you know? Continue. Well, the thing is, when you're trying to make a defense, when you're trying to make a defense that is factual and is fair.
No, let us understand that you are talking about accusing my own party that has held Abia State that produced
for over 24 years.
Do you know the capacity of personalities that was produced by PDP in Abia State? They have shown capacity. Do you know that?
How have they shown capacity?
Do you know that?
How have they shown capacity?
After when he left as a governor, that he became a senator. That if he did not do well,
was there a case?
If he did not do well,
did he have a case with EFCC?
EFCC is normal.
Continue.
So many persons
have a case with EFCC.
Yes, so many persons.
Right.
So it's not really. I know too well that OT has done well in the aspect of ABBA. When I say ABBA, I know what I mean. ABBA people are the people that castigates every government.
Now, when you talk about Abia State as a whole, which city has the strongest voter strength, the greatest voter strength? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of the political system of Abia State?
I can't really tell, but I know that ABBA particularly has a very strong political.
And then, if you as a politician,
yes, you look into that.
No, you as a politician, you're speaking as a politician.
They have good and bad.
Don't they have the right to good governance? Are you aware?
They gave them
Honorable Churchill,
we gave them flyover
in 24 years.
We gave them flyover.
One flyover.
Wonderful one.
Wonderful
that
flyover.
Was painted black and yellow. It's all painted black and yellow. And you know that. I went the first day. That flyover was commissioned by my former governor.
Now, all the flyovers, you're from River State, and you are a PDP member.
I remember.
And hold on. And you have seen the works of the FCT minister when he was governor of River State.
No, but you can't compare now.
No, hold on. Hold on, Honorable Churchill. When he was governor of River State, you witnessed the flyovers. I mean, at some point, he was called the flyover governor because of, intense projects in River State. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can't start counting right now.
12.
And that was within a space of how many years, Honorable Churchill? He just did that. He just did that in 8 years. He was able to, change the face of River State, and to a large extent, traffic issues, road congestion was taken good care of.
Gosh.
Now, he was a PDP.
This is the first time you are talking good about my governor. Not my former governor. I'm happy.
I'm trying to talk about PDP when you talk about quality of governors, correct? Yes. Now, can you do a comparative analysis briefly of the flyovers done by Nyesom Wike in Port Harcourt and the black and yellow flyover, yes, done by a PDP governor as well?
I should do a comparative analysis.
You've been telling me that in 24 years, in 24 years, PDP was able to give about only one thing, and that's a flyover. I want you to actually compare that particular flyover with the ones done by FCT minister.
The flyover was commissioned by the former,
I am not talking about who
minister.
Commissioned the flyover.
He looked at it before commissioning it.
We are not talking. He's not an engineer, by the way.
So what you are telling me now is that you are telling me that the FCT minister did not look at the flyover very well before commissioning it.
Honorable Churchill, look at the meat of the matter. The question is,
I see the flyover as a movable.
You're saying that ABBA got good governance, but the
in
only
24
problem
years,
was that they talk too much.
ABBA was given flyover.
In 24 years.
ABBA was also, they built, I know they tried to rebuild the market. They tried or they did? They rebuilt the market.
What market was that?
The area market.
The area market.
Yes.
That's not.
Part of it was rebuilt.
That's not true.
Part of it was rebuilt.
That's not true.
One of my brothers.
Have you been to area? Were you at area? Within the last 8 years.
Within the last 8 years.
You didn't visit area, correct? You did not, because
I visited area.
Probably then, if you visited area, then I'm surprised you're saying this.
No, just last 4 years ago.
Arera right now is actually being pulled down and rebuilt in phases currently. That is what is going on currently. So let's not even go there. Now, the only project, Honorable Church, you could talk about when it comes to governance by PDP in the last 24 years is one black and yellow flyover, correct?
Not that.
The question is...
Not that. They also built the government house. PDP built the government house. PDP also built so many roads.
PDP built the government house.
You can't accuse my party of not performing in the state and our accepting just like that.
If I may ask, Honorable Churchill, how does building the government house directly better the lives of people?
If there is no structure where they
now
will stay
that
and
they
do,
had a structure in the past 24 years, what
and
did
do
they
the work, where would they stay outside and
what did they do in River? But let's come down to the reason for this back and forth.
There is
I was asking that going by how people were disillusioned completely and utterly, disenchanted by PDP, you know, and what they have done so far in Abia State in the past 24 years, and there was a need for change, and that change came in the person of Governor Alex Otti, and Governor Alex Otti so far has been doing good work. You can't take that away from him, actually. So now the question is, in light of this, why hasn't LP recorded good number of defections? Why are people defecting from other political parties to APC, and I think 1 or 2 persons to PDP, as the case may be? Because you said that statement by Governor Alex Otti he was kind of lobbying and trying to fling the doors of Labour Party open.
Okay, let me come direct to what you said. Like, I know too well that now, in your statements, if people hear you now, they will say you are campaigning for Labour Party. Now, because
Honorable Churchill, you're trying to sound like a politician.
No, you are talking about their disenfranchised.
Now, my job.
You are talking about like their disenfranchised.
Honorable Churchill, my job is to ask questions.
Yes.
And
to
lay the facts bare.
The question you
ask. It doesn't need to favor your party.
No.
It doesn't need to favor Labour Party.
Yes, but what I want to let you know.
In the same breath, when I talked about the project of the FCT minister, you said yourself that, this is the first time I am actually speaking with of the FCT minister. And now I'm asking you direct questions.
No, but let me just
what is actually the reality in Abia State? And you're now saying I'm campaigning. I am not.
I did not say you are campaigning. I said people will say.
Answer the question.
I didn't say you are campaigning.
That's your opinion, not the opinion of the masses. Yeah. So answer the question.
Okay, let me come to that. You see, Labour Party, like I said before this time, was not a party until when they flagged up some good candidates like Alex Otti and Peter Obi. That brought about the popularity, and people started knowing that there is something like Labour Party. So, but as it stands now, the only 2 parties we know in Nigeria is PDP. I will call my party first. Is PDP and APC, and the 2 parties they know. That is the 2 parties people will want to defect to.
Okay.
And if there is any need, maybe Governor Alex Otti, as he's doing well, he should continue doing well. I told you here last time that at the end of January 2026, we'll know who has done well and who should go back for second tenure, who shouldn't go back for second tenure. Because we all calculate who went to farm, cultivated, you understand, and during the time of harvesting, we'll know whether your cultivation was done perfectly or not. So now, as it stands now, they voted them, the masses have voted them, they are cultivating. At the end of that is the period they should be harvesting.
Okay.
By 2026, we'll harvest all they've cultivated.
Okay.
Then we'll find out whether they will go back or not. But I know too well that the president is cultivating very well. Like dollar is coming down.
I didn't ask about the presidency.
No, that dollar.
Right now,
no, I'm talking about.
You are moving to the presidency.
No, I'm not.
We are still discussing the political intrigues.
You see, Abia State.
So we are not moving to the presidency right now.
Abia State should, if I am Alex Oti.
You're deflecting, you're changing the topic.
If I am Alex Oti,
all right,
I would join PDP.
Okay, interesting. All right, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll still dwell on Abia State. Do not go away.
There are two sets of people on.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed.
Thank you for staying with us. Joining us on Open Air this morning is Ugochukwu Ifanichukwu, a political analyst. Good morning, Mr. Ugochukwu. It's a pleasure having you here.
Good morning, Choma. Good to see you always. Smiling, and happy Sunday to our viewers and Nigerians. And we also extend our regards to our Muslim brothers, or the Muslim Ummah, and our Muslim faithful in Nigeria. We say Ramadan Karim to all of you as you continue to, to fast and pray, accumulating towards the main festival that we are waiting for.
Okay. Abia State Governor Alex Oti on Friday said he inherited 192.2 billion naira debt from his predecessor, Okezie Ikpeazu. He said Ibazo, on his part, inherited 34.5 billion naira debt from his predecessor. Oti disclosed this during an interaction with journalists. He said, however, that some of the debts have been paid off as they are with high interest rates, adding that it is tough, but we have to do it. We manage our expenses well and are able to live. Let me start with you, Honorable Churchill. What do you think of this statement by Governor Oti?
It's not a bad one. Like I say, it's not a bad one because he didn't say, he also made a statement. They are saying that his predecessor inherited from his own predecessor. How much is his predecessor? No, whether it's 10 naira or 20 naira, the debt has been there in Abia State. Somebody must inherit debt.
Okay.
So now what I'm saying is,
he inherited
a debt.
Hold on. Okezi Bazu inherited 34.5 billion.
It was debt.
Hold on. 34.5 billion.
That's 8 years ago.
From TA Oji. Now, when Okezi Bazu was now handing over, he handed over a debt of 192.2 billion naira.
That's what I'm saying now.
Make it make sense, please.
Now, look at 8 years ago, 34 points. Dollar rate was too lower. Now,
when did
8 years after?
When did dollar
rate?
No,
let me just finish.
When did dollar rates
start increasing?
Yes.
It was from.
When did we start suffering this hyperinflation?
It was 8 years ago now. It was 4
years
ago.
The economic crisis in Nigeria actually came to a peak when the President Bola Tinubu, announced.
But there is something I told you last time when I was here. You allow me digress in this.
Make it make sense.
Now,
don't digress, please. Honorable Churchill, answer the question.
No, I said
yes.
8 years ago, it was 34 point something billion debts. Now, 8 years after, it's 192.2 billion.
Yes.
So it's not that in Abia State, what they should be talking about now is if Governor Alex Oti finishes, he shouldn't allow his predecessor to also inherit debt.
No, his successor.
His successor, sorry, to also inherit debt.
That's what we should be talking about.
That's what we should be talking about now, because I've seen it that debt has been there in Abia State. So we should be talking about the solution to this debt. And I know too well that Alex Oti is looking out for the solution. Like he said, that most of this debt has been paid. So he doesn't want to now probe his predecessor like what is happening in
Kaduna State.
Kaduna State, sorry. Like what is happening in Kaduna State. So he is trying to look out for the solution, how to pay the debts, and also how to make sure that somebody that will succeed him will not also inherit debt, like it has been debt right from. And we did not even go back to look at the predecessor of the TAOG, when how much he inherited from Oji Kalu. We did not look at that. They only started from
the governor is concerned about the current, what he inherited.
No, but he has also mentioned the one that his own predecessor inherited.
Of course, because that would be part of the.
So he did not mention
that would be part of the handover information. Okay. It behoves Okezi Bazu to actually say.
So what I should believe now.
It behoves on Tia Oji to say this is what Oji gave to me. But the immediate OT is about the immediate concern, right? So now when you say debt is recurrent in Abia State, and that shouldn't be the crux of the conversation. The crux of the conversation should be
the solution.
The crux of the conversation should be the solution, and secondly, to ensure that the governor does not hand over debts to
the next to his own successor.
Does that mean that whatever financial misappropriation that...
No.
Hold on, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
You don't preempt me.
Okay, go ahead.
So does that mean that whatever financial misappropriation that has been engaged in the past, whatever governors do that are not right, people should not ask questions, people should not demand for accountability? When you say it should be swept under the carpet and let's focus on governance. Now, these monies that you are asking, let it be swept under the carpet and people should not ask questions and let's just focus on the solution and governance. Aren't these monies that are meant for the masses?
Okay, let's
part of these monies, are they not monies that are generated from the taxes? Because, people pay tax, even the market women, they pay tax as well. So when government collects these monies and they do not see, they do not feel the impact of these monies collected from them, as well as federal government allocation to them, you are saying they should sweep it under the carpet, and that they should look forward to the solution to things that have been done in the past. We are talking of 34.5 billion naira debt to a humongous 192.2 billion.
But what are we talking about?
Makes sense.
Let's understand what we are talking about.
Let's before we get to the solution.
Okay, we should talk about
before we get Honorable Church.
But he did not in any way accuse.
You may also
he is only talking
now,
about
if there were projects that were being done, when you look at it economically, actually, debt is not bad in itself.
Yes.
You understand? Borrowing money to finance projects, borrowing money, it's not bad in itself. What is bad, what matters is what you do with the monies you borrowed, right? What matters is that you borrow money and you invest it, into capital projects that will, over time, be able to pay off the interest and also pay off the loan.
Okay.
Now, you borrow money and within a space of 8 years, instead of the money reducing, instead of you are in debt of 34 billion naira,
okay,
instead of that debt reducing, by the time you were done with your governance,
okay,
in quotes, the debt increases to 195. The question is, what are the projects? How did Abia State get to this point?
I really am not from Abia State, but I have information to give you in Abia State now.
Okay.
I know too well that outside the governance is, like I said here, governance is like education. It has a process. And in governance, you think about the affairs of the people.
Okay.
You think about the major need of the people, not the wants. Now, when OT inherited these debts, OT did not say, my predecessor misappropriated these funds. He said, I inherited these debts. Maybe he has looked at the areas where this money was used in. Like looking at the affairs of the people, the needs of the people, major roads that the people move day and night, maintenance of some certain structures
by OT or by the
previous governance.
Can you give examples
paying of previous debts by the contracts and all the rest.
Which contracts?
Cleaning of making sure that the state is in a good state.
How neat is Abia State?
All those things are high expenses.
Honorable Churchill, I can understand that you're speaking from the backdrop of
my party.
Your party.
Look at the area where you're going. I know that's the area you will go. That is the area.
But that's a fact.
But what I'm saying is the truth.
Cleaning up Abia State. Hello? Do you know that Abia State was ranked among the dirtiest states in Nigeria?
When? Last year?
During the tenure of Okezi Bazo.
The person ranked.
These are realities.
How do you know?
These are okay now.
Because they saw
when you said you traveled, okay, because they saw what?
Because they saw death in Aba.
So it's about
that is it. Aba is dirty.
But you say Aba is dirty. But you
cannot classify the entire Abia State with Aba. It's very wrong.
But you said yourself here that probably one of the things that were done with
why is this particular Abia State issue? Because OT
No, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to do is
inherited.
Now, no, because you said that let us not focus on the debt itself.
Let us look at the solution.
Now, I am asking
the next governor will not inherit this kind of debt from OT. Because if this continues, OT might also leave 300 and something billion debt.
Now, do you think it affects governance? Because you had a governor that is able to turn it around. Now, do not forget, not too long ago, another governor came out to cry out that he's unable to pay salaries as a result. That was
Kaduna.
Kaduna Nasser El-Rufai.
Yeah.
As a result of debts incurred by Nasser El-Rufai. Now, that's on one side. Let me bring you back to Rivers.
But you read what is happening now in Abia State.
Let me bring you to Rivers State.
That's the reason why I was not happy with
Kaduna. Let me bring you to Rivers State.
Okay.
When the FCT minister became governor, you remember he came out to cry out that the treasury was literally empty.
Yes.
And Rivers State people were boiling as to how monies in the reserve funds were allegedly used at that time to buy presidential funds. Yes. Do not forget, there were issues around that. And Rivers people saw firsthand how the FCT minister, the then governor, struggled with governance because he was literally governing with no funds. But then, over time, he was able to turn that around.
Yeah.
Not just turn that around, did a whole lot of projects with literally nothing. Now, because of probably the quality of man that he is, and because of probably...
Now, you are talking about what I told you
realistic.
before,
Hold
that
on.
governance is like a school.
No, it was your party. Yeah. And literally in Abia State, probably because of the nature, the kind of person that Governor Oti is also, project-minded, governance-minded. You can't take that away. Now, there is another governor still in Nigeria that is crying that he cannot pay salaries as a result of the huge debt he inherited. These are governors in different states. One is able to turn things around, and one is not able to turn things around, and he's crying out. Truth of the matter is that in that state, it's affecting governance to a point that he's unable to pay salaries. So when you say this thing should be swept under the carpet, it begs the question, if how long will Nigerians continue to sweep issues like this under the carpet?
Let me correct one particular statement. I did not say it should be swept.
You thought we should leave what has happened and focus on governance.
What we are talking about is not just governance. What we should be talking about now is the solution, because let me tell you, when he inherited, this man inherited 34.something billion. This one also now inherited 190-something billion. When Ibazu inherited 34.something billion, Ibazu did not tell anybody he inherited 34.something billion as debt.
Was he able to turn it around?
Ibazu looked at for how he can fight it
by increasing it to one, by increasing the debt ratio to 190.
But he couldn't.
2.2 billion.
But I said, but he couldn't.
And you're making excuses that it was as a result of
governance.
Dollar. No, you say it was dollar inflation.
Dollar inflation.
You say that was the reason. Dollar volatility was part of the reason why the debt profile rose from 34.5 billion naira to 192.2 billion naira.
But if I say that, it's not.
That's your opinion, and
it's my own opinion. But what I am saying is that the debts in Abia State should look out for solution.
Okay.
How to stop it so another person will not inherit again.
All right, Mr. Ugochukwu, what do you think about this whole situation in Rivers State, and also as to how in Abia State, and also how it applies to governance?
How I look at what?
The situation in Abia State, Governor Oti saying that he inherited a debt of 192.2 billion naira from his predecessor. Now, the predecessor actually inherited 34.5 billion naira from T.A. Oji. Now, after inheriting 34.5 billion naira, he handed over a debt of 192.2 billion naira to Governor Alex Oti.
You know, Nigerian politicians they are always in the news for the wrong reasons. They are newsmakers, but they don't, make the news for what the news ought to be. OT and the governance of APC in Abia State. Don't forget that PDP, sorry, PDP from 1999 to 2023 has been, apart from, there was a time Ojos Okalo formed a political party, and when he fell out with Olusegun Obasanjo as the then president, he quickly formed a political party and used the political party to, run for his second tenure, and then brought TLG through that that political party. Maybe the name will come. So if you look at the governance in Abia State, which has moved from one OG to another to Ibazo and now OT, you find out that the political landscape in Abia State, the political actors had no intention of developing Abia State. They have no intentions of developing Abia State because I think I schooled in Abia State, and when after Ojos Okalo's first tenure, I was there. I think I was in Bende Minor Seminary. So we assessed his performance because it's not today I started activism, started in the secondary school. So we, some of the students gathered ourselves to interrogate, the road, especially the road that they were building that passed through our school then. We find out that the road during Ojos Okalo's time was constructed twice. You cannot be a governor, you want to construct a road. You don't look at the land texture and taking all the things in consideration because you want to just please your people and not doing a quality work. He did the job. Within 3-4 months, the road collapsed. And he found it, and that's the route he takes home. He found himself reconstructing the road for the second time, and it didn't last. That is what we saw in Abia State. During the first conversation, I had my colleague saying that the building of government house is government can be run from anywhere. I've seen governors who run from their homes. That is not an achievement or a landmark project to be identified with a political party that held sway in a state with such IGR huge deposit as we have it in Abia State. Because area market is being taunted to be one of the largest in the whole of West Africa. So they would have leverage on that to make the IGR, their power base. That is what made Lagos what it is. Tinubu came and saw the depth of what he could do with the monies accruing to the government from the belly of Lagos State. He utilized it. Then you go to Anambra, all the governors that have been coming, they have been utilizing the IGR, being garnered from the state therein. Then Abia State governors has come and gone. None of them were even able to improve the state of Ariareme market, not to talk of making it a world class. You see, all of them has come. The roads, they would have leveraged on the nearness and taking the competitive advantage that the River State is a civil service state, to leverage only on River State and make their routes motorable so that River State will be going there and patronizing them. But they left, the Abia State was cut off, so to say, during the administration of PDP-AA. Or I remember the name of the Ojos Okalo party then. But they cut themselves off, isolated themselves from other states that hitherto they would have used their resources to improve on the welfare and development of their state. It's quite unfortunate. You find out that to borrow money in itself, it is not bad, because governance is run with debts, and also the IGR. The monies are at hand, the deficit and the monies that is accruing from them from the federal government. But Abia State, so to say, allowed herself to be immersed and started only waiting to beg cap in hand, going to Abuja to collect monthly allocations, like other small states that are not even as viable as what we have in Abia State, because there are some states who will excuse if they're only waiting for the Abuja monthly allocation. But Abia State has all it takes. You have the Abashu industry, you have Bata, you have breweries. You look at when Obi came to on the saddle in Anambra State. Obi revived some of the dead industries in Aba, where you have all these breweries now springing up. I don't want to advertise for them, but you could see what Obi did by revitalizing in Anambra State. But Abia State has all those things scattered all over that made Aba the hub in the whole of West Africa then, so to say. But the government could not even, bring out a humongous amount of money from the state budget to say, let us give to manufacturers, let us give them loans, let us improve them if the government cannot run it. Look at Enyimba Football Club. They even use Enyimba Football Club to collect money from market people to fund. Anytime Enyimba Football Club is having continental engagement, it was from the people's purse that the government pays. It was not Ojos Okalo that used the government resources or his money to make Enyimba what they were then. Winning CAF Confederation Cup back to back. It is from the people's money. If you make your research and go to Aba, they were taking, anytime they have those competitions, they will tax people, and people pay happily because they see Enyimba as their own. Ojos Okalo cannot come out and say that he used his personal money or he used government money. Those government funds to fund Enyimba up to the standard they were. So when you borrow, if a government, before you borrow, that's why you have technocrats around you. You map out the areas you're going to plunge that money, and in the next 2-3 years, you are getting returns to pay out the debts. But in the Nigerian political circle, it is the masses serving the elected officials. While in the dictum of late St. Pope John Paul II, he said, Serva Servatorum Dei, that he is the servant of the servants of God. And what I did in Nigerian Peoples and Culture in school, they told me that the leaders are our tenants. We employ them. They are our employees. But in Nigeria, you see a different thing altogether. When you assume that position, you become Lord and Master. You lord it over others. That is what brought Abia State to where they are today. Right. Because its present state could not have continued. Look at the case Ojos Okalo had hanging on his head. 17 billion naira debt. The graft money that and he has been convicted. Forget about how the Supreme Court did it, because he hibernated with APC. At the end of the day, his sins has been forgiven. How could you, after how many years of going through that judication and the road of the judiciary in Nigeria, after obtaining that judgment with fiat, the Supreme Court said, because the judge that gave the court, is the man retired? Did he give that judgment from his seat of retirement? Or was he on suspension or on sanction that he gave the conviction of Ojus Okalo, but they said that he has already been promoted to the appeal court before he delivered the judgment. What kind of country are we? Instead of looking at the merit of the pronouncement, at the merits of the case, and say this man deserved his time behind bars, that he should not be given the oxygen to breathe with other free citizens. After a day, you remember that even T.O.J. won election when he was in the detention. It was not just Okare that single-handedly won election for him, because they want to cover their tracks. If you could roll back the hand of time, and the Alex Oti happens to deep into the happenings of the time of Ojus Okalo, why he did not go there is because EFCC have already an iron cast evidence to prosecute Ojus Okalo. If all those witnesses were to be alive,
right.
You know. So what we are saying is that Alex Oti, if what you have done is to bring the former governor, what's his name, Okezie Ikpeazu, to the public opinion table, you tell us, because I don't expect Oti to be telling us that he inherited 194.12 billion debt. No. If you want to probe him, probe his administration and let it have his time with the EFCC and the ICPC. Don't be playing to the gallery after telling us what else. Okay. After making this thing known in the public opinion, after saying all kinds of things, TOJ had 34 billion hanging on his own neck, which didn't reduce. There was nothing like dollar issue in this case, because if they had put the money where it should have been, the dollar increase would have not met that particular money. No, it is a fallacy of the highest order to say that a money that has been borrowed. Remember that when these monies are borrowed, if it's borrowed for a 3-year period, assuming the money was borrowed with when dollar was at 600, even if as at today that money is hanging there, they're paying with the interest of when the money was borrowed. When the money was borrowed. So if the government in power had made a concerted effort to, place those monies where they should be, there are a lot of things to be done in Abia State. They're not looking for things to do. Right. Abia State is not lacking the things that the government should do. Then those people now that are hibernating and praising LSOT to the high heavens, I'm not saying that people should not, cross-carpet. In Nigeria, before you align with somebody, you must cross-carpet to the person's political party, which is wrong. Stay in your party and support good things. Right. It doesn't mean that you will say, if I don't eat, if we are in a banquet hall now, and I'm not among the people who are seated at a high table, and they are serving a designated menu, if I get my own share of the same menu, it is not to say that I did not eat at the same table with those VIPs, that I did not partake in the food that was served. So if you are a member of any political party in Abia State and you're a lover of good governance, stay in your party and support what LSOP is doing. After all, in Nigeria, we don't vote according to party lines. People vote according to the highest bidder. So people pay according to cast their vote according to the person who appeals to them most. So for the people who are cross-competing to Labour Party to show OT support, I don't buy that idea, because it will make OT to lose focus. Because when you start praising him to the highest heavens and you feel that the people are with him, he begins to, it is the same people that there will be a shift. If there is any paradigm shift in the negative tomorrow, they are the same people that will come and say, bring Oti, let us eat him raw. So Alex Oti should go all out and probe the past administration. I hold them accountable.
All right.
If he is in to achieve good governance in Abia State.
Okay, Honorable Church, you have something?
Yes, I'll have something to say. I will not want to deviate from this particular matter because I've seen it that we're talking about the debt of 192.2 billion inherited by the current governor of Abia State. I know too well that the current governor is a man that Abia people love. That is why they voted him.
No, Abia didn't love him. Oh.
I said Abia people love him.
Honorable Churchill, point of correction. Abia State we are disillusioned with the activities and the governance of PDP. No, Abia State wanted to try elsewhere. They wanted to try. They are trying. See, the devil I know is the angel is better than the angel I don't know. It is not about how many times did he contest. Why was he denied?
That is it now.
Why was he denied? It is not about love.
Try him because they love him.
No, it is not about love. They were already frustrated with the activities of PDP. With the activities of PDP. That's the truth.
Let me use another word.
You know, in the previous conversation we had before Mr. Ugochukwu joined us, I had told you prior to this time that there was already a disenchantment.
That is it.
In Abia State.
I said that
any other alternative would have flown.
No, you're not turning it around that Abia State.
Love OT.
Loved OT.
No.
Apparently, you're not well. You do not know about
the frustrations of the people and the misgivings that they have.
How many times OT has
contested.
Okay,
if they so loved him,
okay, let me
they would have stood by him and recover his mandate.
Let me clear it on a particular thing.
All right.
Nigeria, I know too well that if you're talking about how many times somebody contested, before I go direct to the point, you will talk about how many times Buhari contested for the presidency.
So why was that place suddenly loved?
And now, because Nigeria has seen it that Buhari has contested, he is popular, and people see that yes, this man.
Buhari has not been on the ballot more than Atiku Abubakar in Nigeria. So if Atiku is so loved, Nigerians would have given him the time. No, Atiku has contended from 1993. He has been there. Yes, go and read it.
He was a vice president.
After the tenure of after the expiration of the tenure of Olusegun Obasanjo, he contested under ACN.
What I mean is,
he contested.
When you look at
if he's so loved, Nigerians would have voted him.
You will find out that the vote they gave to Alex Oti was because they love him, and that is very, very clear.
How is it clear?
So now, they did
not love other governors coming.
As somebody that they love and they've shown him love by voting him into the power, Alex Oti should.
Assuming Oti has not hit the ground running, how will that love manifest? If he has not hit the ground running, what will you say about the love?
There are people now that he inherited 192.2 billion. That is 192.2 billion from his predecessor. That is debt. And he didn't stop there. He said, that is to tell you a man with conscience. He has conscience. He said that his predecessor also inherited 34 points.
It is
he's a man with conscience.
It is an indictment on the part of PDP governance. He knew what he did. It is an indictment on PDP because that particular 34 billion was also left by a PDP government.
When you were saying all these things, I kept quiet. Do you know why I kept quiet? You said things that made me happy. When somebody saw the road he did, and the road was not good, he re-awarded it to another different
country. The road still broke.
And the road still broke.
No, he re-awarded it to another
even when he was on seat.
And do you know that the sign,
I can mention the road.
The nature of Abia State.
That is why it's saying that they didn't bring in a good consortium company to make it.
Yes, it is very, very cheap.
Yes.
Okay, now let's look
You're
at
right.
when you talk about.
And do you know that? Do you know that Abia people
broke down twice?
Because he gave it to indigenous contractors.
Okay, wow, okay.
And you go and dig it. Because he wants to better the lives of Abia people. Because
how? Wike would have bettered the life of Rivers people by awarding them the contract that he did. No, Wike would have given the indigenous.
You think you are getting a contract in your place?
No, Wike would have awarded the flyover to indigenous companies.
But you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, gentlemen.
But you know what
Honorable Churchill. Now let me bring you to a road that was done in Abia State that has stood the test of time.
Okay.
For decades.
That is somebody that has
Hold
conscience.
on. The Uturu Road.
Oh, that was done by PDP
Hold
to
on.
PDP government.
Hold on.
Yes.
The Uturu Road.
It was done by PDP
I never
government.
said
Just say
it was not on PDP.
It was PDP
I never said
not.
PDP. Don't put that in
It
my
was
mouth.
not PDP. I know the road she's talking about.
When you're going to Abia State University.
No, the area where I'm going, the reason why I'm going to this party issue is because he is saying
Hold
that.
on, Honorable Church, I'm trying to make a point.
Okay.
It's still the same topography. From that road, you can link to Item. Okay. That road will take you to, yes, that road will also take you to Abriba.
Yes.
That road will take you to Ojus Okalu's house.
Yes. Ojus did. I know that.
It will take you to that road. Yes. That road has stood the test of time for decades. That road was built even before PDP started.
It was built by former NMPP chairman. This
it was not.
Former governor.
Okay, that means Ojus Okalu quoted the road.
What's his name now?
Ojus Okalu quoted the road.
The road was done and finished. Now the point I'm trying to make is this. You talked about, because what you said is actually an indictment on Ojus Okalu, and I know, Honorable Church, you're trying to protect your party. But I feel that, you know, even as a politician, you're a Nigerian, and governance should take place.
It was done by Oben Nayono.
Yes,
it was done by Oben Nayono.
You just remember the name. But what I'm telling you,
it was the governor. It was the governor there. The governor.
It was not done by PDP.
It was not done by PDP. It was Oben Nayono.
Ojus Okalu did not, hold on.
We'll dig the facts.
It's not like it is there.
But I know too well that road was done by Ojus Okalu.
No, it was not by Ojus Okalu.
Ojus Okalu did not coat the road. Ojus Okalu
I mentioned the name of the person that did it.
Ojus Okalu did not repair the road.
But Ojus Okalu coated the road.
Ojus Okalu did not coat. The road was done, dusted, finished.
And commissioned.
Commissioned.
By who?
And it has
by Oben Nayono's administration.
Don't reflect the conversation, Honorable Churchill. That road has been, the point I'm trying to make is, that road has been there for decades without breaking down. And a sitting governor who had the resources, who was doing a road, let's just say, okay, the road was done in Aba, for example. People will be like, okay, maybe it's not from there. But he did a road in his own place.
Yes.
And you need to understand the import of this. A road that ran through his own house, his own fence, and it broke down.
Twice.
It was done again. It broke down.
It broke down again. Because I schooled there for 6 years.
Like I told you, I drove past that road on my way to Abriba.
Okay. Unless is doing it.
Few weeks ago, the road is bad. You also talked about from Abia Tower into Umuahia. Yeah. And I told you currently, that road is in a state of disrepair, and currently Alex Oti is working on that road. You can go on and on and on about, when you talk about road, the roads that you claim were done actually were shabbily done. Actually,
that is what I'm saying.
Substandard
material
now,
and also substandard construction companies.
The thing is, I'm not all for party lines.
I'm not for party lines. I'm also telling you.
I am looking at governance. So when you're saying people voted Alex Oti, bringing it back to what you said last, because when you're speaking on national television, you actually have to speak facts. When you're not saying people voted Alex Oti because they loved him, question is, Alex Oti has been running for elections severally, and you know, he most times he doesn't even come second.
He come third, fourth.
Now I am telling you, if he's so loved, at least he would have been the second person. He doesn't even come second. So what I now asked again is this, and that is, you know, when you said they loved him because they voted him, you are trying to remove the fact that there was a disenchantment with the 24-year-old or less
led the administration of PDP.
Which people lacked governance in Abia State.
Yes.
In fact, you cannot remove.
You can't remove it.
Now again, I have also asked you, make it
That's the
sense
truism
that,
of the whole fact.
A governor inherited 34.5 billion naira.
And grew it to.
And grew
34.34 and grew it to 192 billion. Then they were not even paying the this. What are you saying? What are you saying on national television?
Yes, the pensions were not being paid as well.
But what I'm saying,
arrears of salaries were not being paid.
Let us
since 2014.
No, hold on. Let us not.
So make it make sense. Do you not understand the disenchantment?
Let us not look at the party. We are not talking about.
Now you don't want to talk about. Certainly, you don't want to talk about.
Let's talk about individual. You understand?
Okay.
Let's not talk about, because when you are talking about party, I will stand.
Did this or did it not affect your party in Abia State in the last elections?
In the last election.
Did it or did not affect the party? Because all this why you have refused to talk about individuals and you were talking in party lines.
Yes, I'm
so the question now,
I want to talk about it
before you talk about individuals.
Because if
did it not affect your party?
Oh, you are
in the 23 elections in Abia, did it or did it not affect PDP?
How did it affect PDP?
It's PDP.
It's not every. It's not every state.
The PDP still did they retain the stronghold?
It's not. It's not in every state that the former party that were there still retains their former hold.
Oh.
It's not in every state. So it matters. What matters is who is the most popular candidate and why should they vote
I
that
thought
candidate.
It wasn't the most popular candidate.
Somebody that you said that has been contesting election for so many times. Don't you know that when you contest election now,
in your widest imagination, did you know that Labour Party will win? Let us be frank.
Atiku took second position.
Wait, let us be very frank. Did you know that Labour Party will take the day in Abia State?
All right, gentlemen.
No, let us be factual.
I want to clear that particular area.
Quickly, let us be factual.
That money. Let me say it clearly. So, my viewers, the nation will hear it clearly that Alex Oti, whatsoever thing he is doing concerning the money he thinks that he inherited.
He thinks.
No, the money he has inherited. If he believes
as debt,
he has facts.
Yes, as debt as well. It's important to add
debt.
That. Yes.
As he believes that he has facts that this money was embezzled, then let him make it public. So the people now will know that this money was embezzled. But if this money was used for governance of Abia State, then he should look out for solution on how to remedy whatsoever. You understand? So another person will not inherit the same debt or more than this from him.
Interesting.
But if it's not for governance, they embezzled it. I mean, the former administration embezzled it. He should prove them.
All right.
That is all.
Okay. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. It's open air. Do not go away.
In between are the cow.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
You condemn this and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need.
Thank you for staying with us. His Royal Majesty Eze Edward Ebere Ule, traditional ruler of the Azumini Autonomous Community in Okwa East LGA, has been removed by the Abia State government. According to correspondent reports, the traditional ruler had been under suspension from office by the state government since February 2024 for alleged misconduct and actions unbecoming of a traditional ruler. A press statement signed by the Abia State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Uzonwachuku, said that Governor Alex Oti had approved the withdrawal of staff of office and certificate of recognition from Eze Ule. Mr. Ogochukwu, what do you think of this action by the Abia State governor?
Alex Oti, as the governor of Abia State, has ruled on the people's support and the disenchantment that hitherto pervased across Abia State, that people were disillusioned with governance and life. People were just living on a daily income, just hoping against hope until nature decided to smile on them by giving them a governor or a man who, maybe because of the tight ropes he has walked as it concerns his political career, he has spoken to himself. I said that I will do the right thing. And we are still watching. It is not yet to Hulu for all the things he has been doing, but he has started well. But it is the end that justifies the beginning. But his handlers should not push him into being in the news for the wrong reasons. This is not the kind of news we expect to hear from Abia State. This issue of traditional rulers and communities, as it were, had made a nonsense of the traditional institution, especially in the south and southeast, because we are here just prior to the 2023 general elections campaign. The then governor, Nyeso Wike, was always calling out traditional rulers for meetings and all that. There is a thing you do, you begin to denigrate and make a no sense of a particular revered stool. We don't see that happen in the north or in the southwest, where their traditional rulers are revered. So, but when you bring out this kind of things on the public space, as it concerns a traditional ruler, it doesn't speak well of what the people expect the governor to be, to inundate himself with the affairs and the things that will, improve the well-being of an average Abian. I said it here a few days ago that in Nigeria, though the constitution did not carve out any role that traditional rulers will play, we will not also take away their positions and the things they do in their various communities, maintaining peace and order, maintaining tranquility, trying to mediate. But politicians now use them at their own beck and call because of their lean resources, and most of them are not buoyant enough to oil their stews and the people around them. You know, let me take a limp a little. In the north, traditional rulers have their kitchen cabinet and they have their domestic workers paid by this from the state government coffers. You can go and make their research. I stayed in Abuja, I interfaced with people in Kaduna State. At least I know that Kaduna and Kanu, let me say the places I know. When El-Rufai entered his second tenure, he has to reduce the domestic staff and the cabinet, staff of the traditional rulers, especially those in the first class and second class, because he came and told them that what of the pastors and those other people from other sections of the country. I know he was referring to the South and Southeast, that who pays the people who work for their traditional rulers. But go and look at it. From the government coffers, budgets are made to service each, even those people that are considered as they are people that they call Hakimi. They are not to the level of a traditional ruler, but they are the people who are the custodians in their own domain, who report directly to their own traditional ruler. Their offices, their kitchens are maintained and funded from the government coffers. It happens. Are we not in the same Nigeria? So, but when you come down to the south and southeast, while our traditional rulers are not being respected, it's because of the way our government treats them. You will stay in your office and summon traditional. Do you know that summoning a traditional ruler is like summoning a deity? That when they sit around your office, what is seated there is the deity and the spirit of the ancestors of different communities. That's what they represent. If we had jettisoned that, or if we have forgotten that those people are representations of their traditional stools, the governors their attention should be punctured, and they should be called to order to tell them that those people are not mere representatives. They are not being voted into power. They outlive so many governors that will come and go. They outlive so many council chairmen. But why will you come to office and you denigrate them? Look at the governor of Abia State, dethroning. Okay, after taking out the staff of office from him, are you going to also tell his people to remove him from if the stool is hereditary? You know what is causing this thing is from Governor Joseph Carlos' time. The balkanization of the existing autonomous communities. They came for the purpose of political gain. Those who supported them and all that, some of them, let me tell you what happens in the political circle in the southeast. Some of them promise those their foot soldiers that immediately I get to power, I will divide the autonomous community and make you an eze. How much is their stipends, their take home per month from the government coffers? Can it sustain them? So this is what is bringing about the shame that we are seeing being robbed on our traditional institutions and the holders. Look at now, he has dethroned him. Are you dethroning him? Are you the person that gave him the power to oversee the affairs of his people? But because when the people choose their king, the government will just play to the gallery of saying we are giving staff of. What is the meaning of staff of office? Is that staff of office the reputation of the offer of the people? So the governors from South and Southeast should be called to order and make to know exactly what it means for somebody to be a traditional ruler. We don't want to see those kind of on charitable news especially from Abia State. Whatever it is, they should solve it amicably where they find out that a panel was set, where they find out that it has to do with the person's character, or maybe formation of a criminal gang, or maybe sabotaging of government activities and the development of the people, what they should do is to quietly ask the person to resign and, delegate or give the stool back to the next in line and not bringing it to the public space.
Okay, Honorable Churchill, what do you think about this?
Yes, I know too well that Traditional Institute works with the government, particularly here in Rivers State.
Okay.
But to large extent, the Traditional Institute has a lot to answer in their own communities. If there is any misconduct reported to the government by the community, it should be spelled out. But I know too well that Traditional Institute does not have anything to do with politics. Traditional Institute is an institute on its own to govern the immediate community and to be supervised by the government. When I mean supervising by the government looks at for the kind of persons that is in that community. If there is crisis, the institute will be called, that is the traditional head, will be called to find out whether the person staying in your community, are you aware of them? Do you know them? If you don't know them, you call to ask questions. We got information like this within your vicinity. So Traditional Institute is on its own, have its own jurisdictions of power, but being supervised by the government. So it doesn't have anything to do with politics. And the government also does not have rights to dethrone, remove, suspend any traditional heads. Whether you are paying the person or not, you have limited powers to some authorities, particularly when it comes to traditional authority, and a Royal Highness in that matter. Like my Royal Highness is a professor. If you tell me my Royal Highness is a drunk, I will tell you it's a lie. Because he doesn't even take alcohol. If you tell me you met my Royal Highness humanizing, it's a lie. There are things you shouldn't expect from a traditional institute. But if that kind of thing happens, the government is not the one to even interfere in that matter immediately. It's the community that will interfere. It's the community that will officially write. Maybe we've made a mistake in crowning this man our Royal Highness. The Royal Highness is supposed to be in so family. Like when there was issue in my Royal Highness in my stool, I was among the persons that went to the commission. And when we went there, we discussed the affair, letting them know that it's the elders that will tell us the truth, where this particular stool is supposed to be. So when they start playing politics about it, that means they want to clear everybody in this community. And to a particular extent, the elders went and said the truth. And that stopped the issues about he is dragging for Royal Highness and he is not dragging. And when it comes to this suspension and the withdrawal of staff of office, you not give room to some persons trying to lobby to contest for the position of a traditional stool, of which is not normal. And it can cause a very big problem in that community.
Okay.
So you handle the issue within the...
It shouldn't be in the public space.
It should be within the community that owns the stool. And it should be discussed within them and reported to the commission head, that is the commissioner. Because If that thing be in the public's term, it might also lead to somebody from UK that is a citizen of that community that has made a lot of money, that is staying in UK, to come back home and say, I want to contest for the traditional stool. And maybe the person will be given the crown today. Tomorrow the person might die because it's not his own inheritance. So it should not be an issue of public domain.
All right.
It should be handled within the community.
Okay.
Choma, before you leave this space, I think I made mention the other time that one of the problems we are having about these traditional institutions, especially in Nigeria, is the political interference. Some of them use it to settle their cronies, not only dividing the existing autonomous communities. You know, when they started that before, they were saying it's for the convenience of governance, so that the democracy dividend will get to the people. If a community consists of 17 or 12 villages, they will now balkanize them and say, okay, so that this one, instead of having one transformer, they will now have about 6 or 7 transformers, according to the research I've made, what I garnered, why people allowed there. But you find out that even at that, those other autonomous communities still have allegiance to their parent or their mother autonomous community. It is still existing. So what is the need?
Right.
What I'm telling you now is this: go and make your research. After balkanizing them, dividing them into 3 or 4. But if a government finds out that this one autonomous community, 500 kVA transformer will not be enough, is it bad to give them 2 or 3? Instead of,
they still know their
yes, they still know that. Instead of them dividing them for the benefit of a mere transformer or maybe a health center. I don't know if you understand the genesis of this, because this particular His Royal Majesty you're talking now, go and, if you make your research well, go and see the small community that he's governing. That is why a governor will sit in the comfort of his office and is challenging the authority of somebody who is a traditional ruler. Can a governor in Abia State get up tomorrow and say that the Ikonne family or the Ezenwunemadu family, that you are dethroning Ezenwunemadu or Ezikonne? It's because when they have subjected those people not to have a voice in their communities, and another thing that makes those things possible is when those people now retire from Abuja. When they retire, what they will do is that they will use their money, like my colleague said, and lobby to be the traditional ruler without knowing exactly what it entails to govern a given community.
All right.
So they should look into it.
The All Progressive Congress has promised to conduct a free, fair and transparent primary election to choose its candidates for the November 11 governorship election in Ondo State. Deputy National Organizing Secretary Nzeduru gave the assurance on Saturday in Abuja as the party drew the curtain on the submission of expression of interest and nomination form by aspirants. Correspondent reports that the primary election is scheduled to hold on April 20, 2024. 16 aspirants have picked forms for the contest. Now, Honorable Churchill.
You know why I homed him?
Tell me.
Because I know that the aspiration, the form, was supposed to be 50 million naira each.
That's
the expression of interest form.
720 million.
50 million.
Or thereabouts, yes.
No, that is what I mean, 800 million has been raked into the account.
That's what she's saying.
For just nomination form.
Expression of interest form.
That's about
720
million.
No, they said 50 million.
The other one is 10 million.
10 million, yeah.
Okay, for the woman.
That is 50 million.
The woman
did not.
Okay. That is 10 million.
Yes.
That is to tell you that party business is a very good business. You know,
You're speaking as a politician.
Yes, the party business is a very good business because the party now has money in their phone. Before they will tell you it's a party that will have everything do your campaign. It's a lie. You will also bring money for your campaign. The party cannot sponsor your campaign all through. So, but it's a good one. I know too well that the APC National Working Committee and the entire executive of the party has really done well in Ekiti State, in Edo State, sorry, and going to Ondo State too. I know they will do well. I applaud them for that, but it's very, very important. You know, this primary will either make their party or mayor their party.
You know that Edo State had crisis.
It was handled. It was handled. That is why I said it was handled.
You think there won't be a replay in Ondo State?
But I told you in Edo State that day that Uzodinma does not have the jurisdiction.
No, you said you had confidence. If I quote you clearly, because I remember your stance.
No, when we were talking about APC,
you had confidence that Uzodinma was going to deliver perfectly.
No.
Until now, there was an issue.
The matter came up.
You shouldn't have declared the candidate.
The matter came up when after they finished the election, and Uzodinma declared the candidate, and why the returning officer declared his own candidate. And I told them, I now said that the election has to be redone because Uzodinma does not have the jurisdiction
as the
chairman to declare a candidate.
Now
on those states, I know too well that they've learned something from what happened in Edo State.
Okay.
And as a party, they know who has the capacity and who has the right. I mean, who has the impetus, the obligation to announce the candidate that is the winner. And this primary will either make or mayor their party. It shouldn't be something that will mayor the party. It should be something that will make the party. I know I'm a PDP member, but I'm saying it because I know that party business is for everybody. If they are having issue there now, it will give my party the leverage to win.
PDP.
Yes, but I want us to go to the pool together so we'll know who will win.
Okay.
Win. So, but for the free and fair, that is the only way they can get the choice of the people as a candidate.
Okay.
Because if they try to play pranks or they try to do anything inside, they will cause more problem for the party.
All right.
So since they've said it, it's not saying, after saying that you will go back to do another thing. As I've said that they are going to conduct a free and fair election, that will bring up a better candidate for them. But if they go back and they want to humiliate some certain persons out of the 16, they want to choose somebody on your own or anoint somebody, and they want to bring in problems to the party, it will divide the party into pieces.
Yeah, right.
Because these 16 persons that is contesting for these primaries have different 16 groups. Have different 16 groups in the party.
Okay.
And if anyone leaves, his group leaves.
Okay.
So you don't have to make anyone angry. They will only be happy when they see that it is free and fair.
Okay.
Everybody will come back to the table and congratulate the winner.
Right.
But when you want to play pranks, you want to play games, you will destroy your party.
Okay.
So I congratulate them for mostly the persons that will conduct the election. I'll congratulate them and also in advance congratulate the winner.
Right.
Because I know somebody must emerge.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ugochukwu, do you see the primaries, APC primaries in Ondo State going well without any form of drama?
For APC to return Ondo State is in their hands.
Okay.
Because as soon as there is a crack owing to the outcome of the primaries, then, like Honorable Churchill said, that will make Oma their party. But I'm not a prophet of doom. But if we could have a crack in the outcome of the primaries in Edo State, I don't think I will be far from the truth if I will say that there will be a lot of crisis to be managed by the APC National Working Committee after these primaries, because
in
Ondo State, because they have already divided.
So you're envisaging
I'm optimistic that there will be crisis, and the crisis in Ondo State will not be managed because there are two sharp contracts in the thinking and the political aspirations of party members.
Okay.
Especially the former Commissioner for Finance.
You used the word there. You said cannot be managed or will not be managed.
No, it cannot be managed. Why I say it is, that's where I'm going. It cannot be managed because the person, that is why I said the neck will have their hands filled up with a lot of party crisis.
I would have loved you using the word might not be managed.
No,
because if you say can't be managed.
No, if there is my choice of words.
Okay.
So my choice of words, because I have seen what is going on in Ondo State. There are two different blocks, two hardline blocks that will not even sit eyeball to speak. The camp of the camp of the Akredolu former commissioner's camp, who is being backed by the national. I'm telling you that for free. You can take it to the bank because the wife of the governor is involved. I take you, the late governor is involved. Let me take you back a little. In Edo State, you remember what happened? Some APC sitting governors played anti-party. When it come, remember that Governor Godswill Obaseki was the deputy chairman of the PDP Governors Forum of APC Governors Forum before he cross-carpeted to PDP in the eve of his second tenure quest. Then, having done that, some of the governors sympathetic to him, who had already fallen out with Adams Oshomole as the party national chairman. You know that former Governor Adams Oshomole was already at daggers drawn with some APC governors. When it came to the campaign, to the mega rally for APC, whose flag was being flown by Pastor Eze Yamo, they did not appear. They did not get that support from the Governors Forum and from the NEC coming from Abuja to campaign for them. After that, most of them played the Nicodemus visit to Jesus Christ. They actually supported the emergence of Governor Godswill Obaseki. That is the truth about what played out in the Edo State then. And I see it repeating. Because as it stands now, Ayedetiwa is not, he may have few sympathizers among the governors of APC. But with the role and the personality of the late Akredolu and the sympathy that his wife has attracted, the NEC will be divided into making their decisions. And one of his strong ally, who was his former commissioner of finance, you know that before you become a governor, make somebody your chief of staff and commissioner for finance. You know what that means in Nigeria. And he was the person who was the de facto governor when Akredolu was incapacitated. He was running the affairs of the government with Betty, or is it Becky, the wife of the late governor. So this is where the cookie will crumble, or this is where APC will be able to put together. After the primaries, will these two opposing camps be able to come together and work together, as we have seen the reconciliation that have taken place in Edo State And they don't have a rallying point, a figure of a rallying point personality. Because if you look at why Edo State, we did not see much problems in Edo State, is because we have somebody like Adams Oshomole there, who is charismatic, who is also an orator. If he even wants to pull Shaibu into their camp today, he will easily do it. If they tell you that after the emergence of their governorship candidate now, that Eze Iyamo, who has flown the flag twice, will come and embrace the other man, you will not agree. That is where we call those people the master tacticians when it comes to party politics. But who will bear the cat in Ondo State as it is today? That is a $1 million question. So the neck should be wary, because PDP and APC are waiting by the wings. Because I know that once, I've said it to you here, Choma, that immediately Ayedetiwa emerges, there will be a silence of the graveyard from the federal and the APC neck in the support he will get.
All right.
The only time you will hear their voice is when somebody from that Akredolu camp happens. But because of the deep pocket politics we play in Nigeria, they might not have the wherewithal to put through the primaries, because the delegates, this is not to make their own money. This is now to build their own empire, because after this time, most of them might not even be allowed to cross the door to the government house. So anybody who is a delegate now in Ondo State APC will eat from both sides. And again, if they are going for the public primary, you also the people will also pay for the people who will outpay the opponent. So APC should be wary, and the intricacies that lies underneath in Ondo State primary coming forth.
All right. Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State and his party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, will on April 15 open their defense at the State Governorship Election Tribunal sitting in Abuja against the petition filed by the Social Democratic Party and his candidate, Murtala Yakubu. The three-member tribunal, chaired by Justice Ado Birinkudu, fixed the date on Friday after SDP and Yakubu, the petitioners, had initially said they had 400 witnesses, closed their case after calling only 25 witnesses. Recall that the SDP and its governorship candidate in November 11, 2023 poll are challenging Governor Ododo's victory in the election. Let me start with you, Mr. Ugochukwu. You have seen the drama that has played out so far in the Kogi State Tribunal, especially with the SDP, their witnesses recanting what they said, some of them saying that they forgot to...
One document or the other.
Yes, and the other one saying that he's not the person that wrote the deposition. It was his lawyer that wrote the deposition. And other people outrightly denying their deposition, saying that they are not even aware of that deposition. A lot of
intricacies and
has
dramas
played out. Do not also forget the case of SDP alleging that their witnesses were beaten up at the tribunal. Now, of course, instead of the number of witnesses they said they had, they now had to end it at
25 witnesses.
Now, what do you make of this whole thing that has played out in Kogi State Tribunal, and what do you think will be the outcome of this tribunal? What do you think, Mr. Gochu?
In as much as I don't expect anything less than a victory for the continuous victory for APC, or the affirmation of his victory, given our political space and what the judiciary has become, I don't see anything extraordinary, because in Nigeria, I wouldn't know if the number they gave him, I mean the votes he garnered, although we are not oblivious of when somebody who came forth became the governor. But in the case of Kogi State, we remember that Yaya Bello played his politics of being loyal to the masters. You know, he stepped down for the sitting president because he said he was bent neck on contesting for the presidency, banking on the youths. And at the time, he threw in the towel. Then going forward, he continued to play the loyal boy and played himself into the minds and hearts of the high and mighty in the Nigerian political circle. He has already secured at least the first 4 years tenure for Dodo, given his antecedents and his style of politics, to the extent that after the APC primaries, during the electioneering campaign proper, the President Bola Tinubu, now candidate of APC then, made him the youth campaign coordinator of the federation of their APC party. So going by that, you find out that they have already secured the judgment. They're only waiting for the affirmation. But my worries and my misgivings goes to the SDP governorship candidates. You know, any politician in Nigeria who has not gone to study is unfortunate about this dictum in Africa that when you want to hide something from an African man, go and hide it inside a book, that you will not even think about it. You come there 100 years time, you go there and you find it, because we are quick to forget history. Look at the judgment that emanated from the Supreme Court and the Appeal Court as it concerns the presidential petition that went from the tribunal, the Appeal Court, and to the Supreme Court. Those sons, those lawyers, those what do they call them? Those people who approach the candidates to file in their cases in the courts, they don't read through the outcome and what other people had gone through. When I was going through the story last night, I said the same mistake that the Supreme Court in their lead judgment said about what made the petition of P2B and the Labour Party not to fly. It's exactly what I saw playing out. Does it mean that those people our brothers who only then went to school, like I always posit here, that we didn't go to school, they are the learned colleagues. But I know that in the academic space, anybody who is a journalist or a broadcaster or who is an opinion monger who don't go for research and training and retraining, we lose touch with reality. Because we have to go for those retraining and training to master the usage of English word and the way it is applicable. It is also meant that in the academic circle, after 4 years, any academic qualification you have has been called to question, because there will be a rejigging of the curriculum and all that. So that is why you have to update yourself. But right. Them who are always on the corridors of going for litigations, you find out that the OB and the LP, they told them that all their witnesses cannot be taken. Some of the cases they filed out of time. Even when Atiku of PDP brought in the certificate forgery of Mr. President, it was thrown out for want of time. Then Dodo and the people who are with him, who are those who are, is it Dodo or the one for SDP governorship candidates, did not manage his time very well and did not do due diligence in making sure that even if you're calling for one witness, that one witness will give you exactly what you want, because it is what you give to the judges and what they bring out, garbage in and garbage out. Not that you will now start beating around the bush that somebody made a statement and said he is the man of the forensic fingerprint man, said that why are there no other signatories to the paper you have presented? Are you the only person that conducted? He said no, that he is the leader. He's the team leader. What does that mean? What are other people that they can also make inquiry or call them to say, are you aware of this? How can they call them if their names did not appear. The courts cannot give you what did not pray. It is not a Father Christmas. So, from what I've read about the presentations of the lawyers that are handling the case of the SDP governorship candidate, I don't think that case will fly, because APC will be waiting for them in the wings, because they have not properly.
They didn't do their homework.
They didn't do due diligence to their homework. They might have a good case, but the presentation is faulty and shabby, and I hinge it on the lawyers, because if they have read from what the Supreme Court have done in just a few months ago, they will not have made such a mistake that is detrimental to the case that this man have at hand.
All right. Honorable Churchill, what is your take on this? What do you think about this?
I've been part of tribunal issues before.
Okay.
2015, 2016 around, I was just in Abuja. I was there despite the whole processes, particularly for our House of Rep member, Right Honorable B.S. Mrengwa. Despite the whole processes, the court took their decision. It is very, 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 very tactical, and it has to do with so many backups for you to have to pass through tribunal court processes when you are fighting for a victory that has already been announced by INEC, for you to quickly get it. I see that this particular tribunal issues that was introduced to Nigerians is just to extort money, and at the end, so far as INEC is with the party that they have announced the victory for, I will encourage and advise the other party to embrace the victory and allow it go.
Okay.
Because if, no matter the extent you will present your witnesses, all those things are just unnecessary expenses. After running high expenses on election, you will come back to run another different expenses in the court. And at the end, you will be expecting victory. It's not really easy. It doesn't come like that. And mostly when it has to do with a ruling party.
Okay.
When SDP cannot in any way overturn the announcement and the victory of APC
in Kogi State.
It's not really possible, because looking at it, before the announcement of the election, the party that was there is APC.
So the stronghold still remains?
The stronghold still remains.
Okay.
So me, I am advising the SDP candidates that after this tribunal, he should just go and reconcile with Ododo.
All right.
And Ododo should also open his hands, because it's not easy to spend money on the election and spend money on tribunal. He should open his hands and welcome him.
Okay.
And encourage him, because politics is not a game of do and die.
All right.
So it's a game for everybody. Tomorrow, the same candidate that didn't win here can be in APC tomorrow and be a governor.
All right. Okay, still on party.
See, there's something I want to say there. You know, like what Honorable said.
In a minute.
Dodo, the SDP candidate should know that in the history of the democracy that Nigeria is running now since 1999, INEC has not done a rerun of a governorship election. Either what they will do now, what they learned now is this supplementary. Even if they are going to puncture the announcement of the election, given on figure manipulations, the worst they can do is to call for supplementary election, which will still give the incumbent the victory because it's money politics.
So they should forget.
So it's an effort in futility.
Okay.
He should go and rest, and he should have his time 2027.
All right. The 2023 presidential candidate and national leader of the new Nigeria People's Party, Senator Rabiu Kwakwanso, has described the party as an alternative to the failed People's Democratic Party and failed all-ruling Progressive Congress. Kwakwanso and ex-defense minister emphasized that Nigeria possesses sufficient resources and manpower to address insecurity. He guaranteed that the NNPP would introduce a revitalizing change for citizens and the nation as a whole. The ex-governor of Kano State stated this during the party's national convention, which took place at the A-Class Event Center in Maitama, Abuja on Saturday. On his part, Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf thanked those who supported the party during the campaigns and legal battles. He noted that the NNPP ranks as the third largest party in Nigeria, boasting approximately 21 federal legislators, nearly 30 state legislators, and as well as one governor and one deputy governor. Honorable Churchill, now you are a PDP member, you are a politician. What do you think about the statement by the NNPP leader, Rabiu Kwakwanso?
Rabiu Kwakwanso was a member of PDP. I hope you understood that he was a member of PDP. He was a former chief of defense staff.
Okay.
Rabiu Kwakwanso is talking about fighting insecurity. First of all, Rabiu Kwakwanso did not automatically handicap the threats, security threats that we are facing today in Nigeria when he was chief of defense staff. Rabiu Kwakwanso only know too well what Sokoto should be talking about. I mean, Sokoto. Rabiu Kwakwanso is popular in the north. That is where we have the Kwankwaso. I mean Kwankwasoyan. His name, where his name is.
Kwankwasia.
Yes. Rabiu Kwakwanso is making a very serious mistake by saying that PDP is failed, or PDP is a failed party to Nigerians. I want to just say one or two things. When you are among the cabinets that took decision, or that has been taking decision in a particular group, and you come back to say that this group has failed, automatically you are saying yourself that you have failed. Rabiu Kwakwanso has nothing to talk about himself coming to be the president of Nigeria, because here in the South, we don't even know who is Kwankwaso. Apart from the core politicians, people like us that can say, this is who Kwankwaso is, or this is what Kwankwaso has done in the North. But he cannot, at his own capacity, in his capacity as a politician, come and tell us that that his party, NNPP, is coming up to be the third force in this country. When we looked at, he contested the last election. We didn't even see him in the third position. And he did not even win. I didn't even see him winning any seat in his state where he should be proud of. So when you are talking as a politician, you looked at the ingredients within surroundings. Because every politician has an instrument to reckon with when it comes to analyzing your powers. Rabiu Kwankwaso has nothing to come and tell Nigerians now that since I have won all through these 9 states, that I have like 4 states as governors in my party, that I should be talking of becoming a president. He hasn't. He doesn't have anyone. I can remember too well that before APC came up to win election when PDP was in power, about 5 governors in PDP defected to APC. That is the 5G governors. They defected to APC. Holding that one, plus other governors that defected from other political parties, and that they said that they are now APCs. And that made PDP to lose the hold of their strength. I mean, they lose the hold of the areas where they are having strong powers. Okay. Like in Rivers State, when Amechi left, we had lapses when it comes to the power. A sitting governor leaving the party. If not that, there was a strong force from both the federal and the persons in the states, wouldn't have taken back Rivers State. But Kwankwaso cannot say he has 3 states. He doesn't even have what it takes to say he is announcing himself in his own state. All right. Talking about saying that he's the third force, that their party, NNPP, is the third force in this country. It's very, very wrong. Okay. And to conclude what I'm saying, Kwankwaso should not in any way address PDP as a failed party. Okay. He shouldn't say it again. All right. He can be saying that APC is a failing party. That's his opinion. He should not. That's his opinion. No, he should not address it again. All right. Because he doesn't even have a party. When we're talking about party, NNPP is not a party to talk about force in Nigeria. All right. Mr. Ugochukwu, what do you think of the statement by Kwankwaso?
In as much as I laugh over some sagacious and unfounded statements that some politicians make, you know, Nigerian politicians always like to play to the gallery. They want to, when it has taken time for them to appear in the public space, they intend to make a grandstanding appearance, making some statements that goes to show that they are a force to reckon with. Kwankwaso, as he should know himself, as he's a one-state political party, even the NNPP that he's flying now, that NNPP was not originally formed by him. It's not his party. You know, he found out that there was nowhere to perch, so he decided to go and hibernate with them. You know, within a few months, he was able to garner the support, which was expected because of his Kwankwasia movement. He has a court followership within that Kano state and the Kaduna state. I think he also has made some inroads in Katsina state. So, as far as we know, PDP and APC should not lose sleep, because what we Nigerians are looking up to now is people that will come and interrogate and question what the present government is doing. People will serve as watchdog, you know, that we checkmate them to make sure that they deliver the dividends of democracy and the people. But we have not seen Kwankwaso play that kind of role. Kwankwaso is not he's not an orator. If you look at him, he's not an orator. He doesn't speak so much. He doesn't, he cannot come out and speak in public space. And because of what he has, you know, gone through in politics, It was with PDP. It was in the cabinet of Olusegun Obasanjo and all those things. So why he didn't play his role, and they know themselves. That is why he cannot come out with full chest and begin to interrogate what the politicians of today are doing. He can't even question them, because if you look at how he even got the one governor and the one deputy governor, you know, I laugh at that, because we know that when there is a governor, there must be a deputy governor. So the governor of Kano State should not even be mentioning to Nigerians that he has that the party have one deputy governor. You know, we knew after much party and the political intricacies and all that. That is why he returned the seat. Nigerians know. So he should not beat his chest and say that he's a third force.
All right.
He's not any third force, and his party is not a nationalist party. If he wants to form a nationalist party, he should have a rethink. And if you look at the formation of APC, if you look at the formation of PDP, and even the Labour Party, you could see some party bigwigs from across the nation that came and are standing by them, and which gives it a national coloration to say that this is a national party. But as it stands in NMPP now, you know, set aside Kwankwaso, who else? Who is the voice there? Whom will come out and Nigerians will say that this is a national, this is a nationalist, as the case may be. So he should go and enjoy the one tenor of his NNPP, because I know that in 2027, the type of sympathy he got from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which gave him the state, because going by what we knew that happened at the tribunal and the Court of Appeal, the mandate of an MPP should not be standing by now. But that's Nigeria for you. Let him go and enjoy it as while it lasts.
All right. Leading anti-corruption body, Follow the Money, has accused 35 state governors in the country of hiding the 9 billion naira palliative and infrastructure development funds provided by the federal government, saying that only Plateau State has been open about the money. Follow the Money co-founder Hamzat Lawal, speaking in an interview, said Nigerian governors have kept mum following confirmation of the receipt of the money, which came as 2 billion naira for fuel subsidy removal palliatives and 7 billion naira for infrastructure development. Honorable Churchill, what is your take on this?
There are about 35 governors that was alleged, apart from Plateau State, it was alleged that they have kept the money. And the Plateau State governor have said clearly that this is true, that this kind of money has been sent to all of us, and that I'm saying the truth, that my own, I will use it for my people. And this kind of thing happens every time. It is very, very wrong. You know, like I used to say it, that there is a different thing that people don't understand about governance. My master and boss used to tell me that every leader is a servant, a chief servant. And as a chief servant, you are supposed to always do everything to inform your people that you are serving, and also that is when you go for an errand for them, whatsoever thing they give to you, you inform them and also do accordingly. But in this aspect now, the chief servants are now becoming the masters. They don't care about the people they are serving. They see themselves as being in control, and it's completely wrong. How will you tell me that out of 36 governors, that only one governor has said the truth? That means the other ones wants to keep it. If not that, that governor of Plateau State said that this kind of money has been sent to us. My people, you should see how the money is. see how I got this money, see how I got this money. And I also saying it clearly that it was sent to all of them. Nobody will hear this kind of thing. It will still be with them. So me, I am saying that the 35 governors should not question the governor of Plateau State. They should do the right thing by using that money for the purpose the president sent the money to them.
Okay.
Because there is high level of hunger in the country. And the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is fighting tooth and nail to see that the economy of Nigeria is being bettered, is trying to help the lives of people of Nigeria. But these people are, like I said it here last time, that the kind of leaders we are having now is leaders that is thinking on how to build houses abroad, how to take their children abroad, how to be buying food even from abroad. Some persons want their children to go and buy ordinary cell phone abroad and come back, paying the flight ticket. Some people want to go and their children, immediately their children comes back from holiday abroad, they spend one day here, the next day they are back. That is the kind of leaders we're having. We're not having the leaders that wants to see their lives. Like when I was in secondary school, one of my classmates then, the father was a commissioner. The father was a commissioner. When I was in university, I had a commissioner and a governorship candidate as the son, as my classmate and friend. But now, everybody is thinking of how to send there is no public school you will see any government official child. Right. And it's very, very wrong. So what I'm saying is that this money that was collected by them should be used in their various states before it will turn to another different thing. Okay. Or the president, if they don't want to use it, because I know that so many persons that is expecting that palliative, just like somebody coming to tell me that they have declared that 4 billion naira, 5 billion naira is for soft loan in Rivers State. And the issues, the criteria for that soft loan is not only for them, the big men. It's very, very wrong.
All right.
They are just trying to frustrate people in this country.
Okay. Mr. Gochukwu, what do you think about this group accusing 35 governors of hiding the 9 billion naira package?
You know, if you're talking about the corruption and anti-corruption wars in Nigeria, any law that is made for the betterment of the citizens of the country, for the development of the country, that is not binding, there is no need of making such a law. If the government is disbursing money, you say this money is meant for so and so project, or this money is meant to alleviate people's problem, and when you are sending that money out, there is not a caveat or a clause following that money that if this money fails to achieve this is the penalty. You are just playing to the gallery. That is why anybody in Nigeria who is in the corridors of power, once money enters your hand, you do as you wish, because nothing will happen. And definitely nothing will happen. So when you are able to meet those who are concerned, because any monies that are flying in Nigeria is the common from the common purse. It is when it gets to you, it is time for you to partake from the national cake. If Nigeria had been doing due diligence about the monies that have been rolling out to alleviate people's suffering and to go, we just finished about Abia State and the debt therein, and the people did not use these monies borrowed. Most of these monies were borrowed. They didn't, put it to where it will yield the return for the people, or use it for projects that will affect people's lives. At the end of the day, we come back to square zero. So that is what, I don't want to talk about palliative because I'm not a fan of palliative. I've told you severally that these monies, we have the places, we can look at what they're saying about Plateau State. Even the governor of Plateau, who is claiming to be a saint now, giving people fish every day and showing them how to fish, which one is better. What is it in the ultimate mention when he was making an expose of how they have managed to pay some of the debts owed by Abia State? He said that they have paid some of the debts and they are not borrowing. And not that he will not borrow, but he will borrow for something that is meaningful. Now, he made mention of how he's using his security vote in securing the lives and properties of the Abians. And they said how they have gotten high-profile criminal gangs in Abia State. He made those exposés. They are killing people of Plateau State day in, day night. What is the governor of Plateau State doing with the monies that are accruing to him or his office via the monthly allocations and the security vote? If he has used this money, he's using giving people Indomie and a half bag of rice and get tractors and giving it to local governments so that farming activities will be made easier and cheap. And when they are rolling out harvest, it will be in 100 foods. What will it take them to employ? The federal government, who has become a Father Christmas, dishing out those monies, does it mean that there is nowhere that federal government will plug in those monies that will re-vibrate around the economy of the Nigerian state and massively affect the people's lives? I'm not a fan of whether palliative, whether the other governors are doing or not. I don't want to know about that. But what I want is for any law that is made in Nigeria, let it be binding. Look at what Lawa said, that they have written to the other governors in line with the provisions of the what do you call it? The act that asks the governors to render accounts. That when they seek for any information, the Information Act. Have the governors responded? Do you know the money to take these people to now go through the whole hog of obtaining a legal paper to serve on the governors, to now, impress on them, to give them what hitherto should be made available in the public space? The money was not given to you, and you didn't use the money for what it meant for, that is in the public space. The federal government have said this money is for the. Let me tell you, when they shared this palliative, it's when I knew that there was the one from federal and the state. The one they are talking about now is the monies that should be coming from the state as the palliatives. The federal government have shared their own. In my neighborhood, it was on one of your sister radio stations that I shared my experience. They got each household, not one person, from the federal palliative. Federal government should hear it. In this river state, in my own vicinity, each household, maybe you are a father with 5 children or 3 children, you have 2 cups of rice. And it was only rice that was shared. There was no other ingredients accruing to it.
No,
I said that.
Not the river state.
No, I said from the federal. I'm not saying the state palliative.
No, when was that? So,
last year.
No. The palliatives are in my own local government. I was part of the shared.
But I said they shared in my vicinity. The people, we are the people that got. Yes, I'm speaking. And is this river state, this Obiabo or Port Harcourt City, local government? What I'm telling you is that I got the one they brought for me in the parish is that 2 cups of rice. And when I asked, why I'm making mention of it is that there is a federal and there is a state palliative. Do you understand the analysis I'm making? They say that the one we are getting now
is from the federal.
And it was 2 cups of tomato cup rice and nothing more. And they say that even if they are sharing it according to families, I don't say an individual now. And that is what you give to people, and you call it palliative. And the next items that remain, you keep it for your party men and for for campaigns.
Okay.
I say it is not right.
All right. In an unfolding political drama, former Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasser El-Rufai is reportedly gearing up for a legal showdown with President Bola Tinubu. This battle, according to insiders, is set to take place in judicial courts over allegation labeling El-Rufai as a security risk and in the broader court of public opinion, potentially shaping the political landscape ahead of the 2027 presidential elections. The roots of this confrontation trace back to El-Rufai's rejection for a ministerial position by Tinubu administration, citing security concerns, a move that sparked widespread discussion and is seen by many as a political snub to the former governor. El-Rufai's subsequent engagement with the political opposition, including meetings with the Social Democratic Party leaders and a visit to Senator Abdul Ninki, signals his pivot towards opposition ranks. Honorable Churchill, what do you make of this oncoming showdown?
El-Rufai was among the persons that had the intentions of becoming the president. And we know too well that El-Rufai is, despite whatsoever, El-Rufai is a strong politician when we're talking in Nigeria. He's a man that has what it takes. When you are talking about P2B, you're talking about, you should also talk about El-Rufai as persons that has read and that understand governance. So for him to reject a ministerial position,
he didn't reject. The administration rejected.
They rejected his interest of becoming a minister. So he is also a person that the governance, when we're talking about Nigerian governance, the presidency has pushed somehow far, because maybe because of his relationship with the former president. But if the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sees maybe that there is somebody has elements in him that would cause a security breach to the country, or a security that is a security threat to the country, the president is the #1 citizen. He should call the person to it, call the person to order. But I know too well that El-Rufai, if it's somebody like Shetima they are talking about now, that is the vice president, I should have been talking about him, because so many persons accused him last time of being a sponsor of Boko Haram, but until he clarified himself and stood the ground of not being accused any longer before he became the vice president. But if the president sees anything very serious in El-Rufai, he should be called to be questioned, because nobody should stand as a threat to the country, mostly now that we're looking for a way to make the country a better one. Everybody is praying that Nigeria should be a better country. Okay. And I don't see that El-Rufai should think otherwise when he knows too well that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration just started.
All right.
So we shouldn't be seeing anybody as a threat in Nigeria.
Okay.
So he should be called, and he should be called to order by the security agencies.
All right.
And we shouldn't he shouldn't also bring in any issue, any issue that would distract
the government. Okay. Mr. Ugochukwu, what do you make of this? What do you think?
I got a little confused because of the way the position that Honorable Churchill didn't. But let me comment this way. I think what this particular expose is saying is that El-Rufai want to clear his name because the federal government has tagged him a security threat according to what came out from the red chambers. That is why the Senate, the Nigerian Senate, refused to clear him as a minister when his name was drafted as among those to be cleared by the Senate for the ministerial appointment. So it were those who saw him as a threat to their own ambition. I've said it here without fear or favor that the undoing of El-Rufai is from his utterances, and also his personality and charismatic nature. You know, he's an orator. He's widely read, and El-Rufai can play into your mind. El-Rufai can be that poster boy, can be an errand boy, so to say, just to get to the heart of those that matters. El-Rufai was not in the picture, so to say, as politicians known in Nigeria prior to the time former President Olusegun Obasanjo, through the advice of his handlers then, when he was looking for technocrats to get Nigeria up and running, El-Rufai was among the names that were penned down for him. And he went all out to seek for El-Rufai. And he brought him in, and El-Rufai delivered. Nobody will say FCT that we know today, and all the musicians who have used FCT to sing, whether for good or for bad, was because of El-Rufai. Even today, the landmark achievements of El-Rufai still stands tall. The buses, the metro buses that civil servants use, they still call it El-Rufai today. So these are what endeared El-Rufai to the landscape of Nigerian politics. But fast forwarded to when El-Rufai became the governor of Kaduna State 2015, he shot himself on the foot by playing a tribal and religious politics, in the sense that your first assignment or your first priority as an elected official, especially in the capacity of a governor or local government chairman, or as we say, these traditional institutions, or the president, is for the welfare and well-being of the people, security, and first, because you will have life before you begin to do anything. But El-Rufai failed woefully. So El-Rufai should not be coming to the public space to tell Nigerians that he is gearing up for a litigation, or what do you call it, a litigal showdown with the president. President Bola Tinubu did not push El-Rufai out, as far as I know. And we also, in the opinion molding space, know that El-Rufai was interested in becoming the vice president. So when that didn't fly, El-Rufai was now positioning himself to be a super minister. But those who are the cabals, those who are the Tinubu boys, shielded him. And they were the people that came out with all kinds of allegations, which is not far from the truth. Because prior to the election, you had some statements that El-Rufai said that went viral when he talked about the body bags, when the European Union were trying to, dispute the election, and when they sent money and they were trying to talk about how the election should go, he warned them. He didn't mince words. He said that if they are not careful, that most of them will go back in body bags. And then the people that El-Rufai should be channeling his confession to, and the appeasement of the gods to, is the people of Southern Kaduna, which El-Rufai looked the other way around, why the people were massacred, why the people suffered ethnic cleansing, why the people cried out. There was a sitting governor receiving security vote, and he didn't act. He made statements that they have paid the bandits for them to go, that that signals that he knows them, and he knows their mission, and he knows where they were staying. If you are the chief protective officer of a state, and your people are crying, being massacred day in, day out, and you come out to make such statements, when the negatives start falling on you, you should have yourself to blame, because you had all the opportunities in the world to stop what he's alleging now, that in the public space he's been touted as a security risk. Yes, going by what we have seen, what we have heard, and what is on ground as it concerns the political landscape of Nigeria and the intricacies that are playing out as it concerns insecurity in Nigeria, El-Rufai is a security risk. Anybody that is aligning him or herself with him, either politically or otherwise, should be questioned. That would have also been the bane of the sitting vice president, who was alleged and other. But you know how the politics in Nigeria flies. Yeah, right. When those who are to speak against you are with you, there is little or nothing that the masses can do in calling the person to order. Okay. So, but El-Rufai, if the sins of Shetima and the sins of the former Zamfara state governor, Yerima, can be forgiven, and they find their voices in the political space of Nigeria, it is a matter of time that El-Rufai will find his feet. He should not go for that litigation. Okay. He should only tarry, because Nigerians are always docile. And I don't want to use a wrong word, but I don't want to use a foul word on Nigerians, but our political awareness should be top-notch, that we shouldn't forget in the space of 4 years what we passed through in these hands of those political actors in the Nigerian political space.
A chieftain of the new Nigeria's People's Party, Buba Galadima, has berated Nigerians over the prevalent hunger and insecurity orchestrated by the President Bola Tinubu administration. The staunch political critic said his support for the Tinubu-led administration to deal with Nigerians, noting that he warned Nigerians against voting for the APC after experiencing the wrongs of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. Galadima mentioned that Nigerians should enjoy the consequences of their political choice. Galadima, who spoke during an interview with correspondents, berated Nigerians over what he described as selling their votes to the APC during the 2023 election. Honorable Churchill.
Buba Galadima is talking based on his own personal opinion. He has his own opinion. But I know too well that Nigerians are not, the suffering will not continue. It's something that has time. But Buba Galadima is talking as a member of AMPP. As a member of NMPP. Yes. Where Kwankwaso would have also been their national leader, their own presidential candidate. So what has Kwankwaso to offer when it comes to the administration of Nigeria, when it comes to what is happening now in Nigeria? It would have still been the same thing. The hunger there would have still been. It would have seen what we are suffering now, even would have been worse. So, but I thank God that he is not God. He can only talk as a man, that he is congratulating Tinubu for what he is doing to Nigeria. I know that Galadima does not have any good intention for Nigerians. He doesn't have any plan even. Even the party he belongs to does not have plan for Nigeria. These are persons that has worked with previous administration that never had anything to offer. Kwankwaso and Galadima worked with Olusegun Obasanjo. These are the persons that I know too well that they've gained what they are today. They've gotten a lot from government, and what they still want is where they will be eating more, where they will be getting more to put to their own pocket, to make their pocket increase more. But one thing I also pitched out from what he said is that this should be a warning. It should sound as a warning to Nigerians who collect money during voting, because they see it as, politicians see it as means of making themselves. When they pay you, and after paying you for the particular election, after that time, you will go.
All right.
Then the government will finish, you've taken your own share. So it's something that we should correct.
Okay.
People should stop giving out money or taking money during the election.
Okay.
But for Buba Galadima, he does not have anything to offer.
Okay.
He doesn't have anything to tell Nigerians. He should not tell Nigerians that he is supporting. He doesn't even have any stake to the current government.
Okay.
He doesn't know what people are suffering.
Okay.
What people are suffering now is what the past government has kept.
No, this is not the issue. When I look at the statement of Buba Galadima, it's not the issue of a blame game of previous administration. This, what he's saying, revolves around the office of the citizens. He's talking to the Nigerian masses. He's talking to the Nigerian voters. He said, this is the choice you have made. And he is also speaking to the Electoral Act. Because if the Electoral Act has been very clear, the characters like Buba Galadima will not be making such statements. So what he said is the truth and is apt. Because what plays out during any electionary campaign, which I have been saying here, is because people tend to vote for the highest bidder, which is not what it ought to be. So I don't see much thing in what he said. You remember, Choma, since past few months, you know that the media, social media space has been awash with Igbos, gallivanting and clapping hands and eating and celebrating that Tinubu should continue at infinitum. They are not saying it because they are saying that people had the time in the world to make their choice and stand by it. But they refused. The people Buba Galadima is talking to are the delegates of APC that went to the convention ground and sold their conscience. So these are some of the statements we would like people to be making in the public space. Let us know if Nigerians will call back their conscience and say, enough is enough. Let me do the right thing and stand by it.
All right. Kanuri-born activist and director, General Center for Justice on Religious and Ethnicity Nigeria, Reverend Kalamu Musa Ali Dikwa, has raised alarm of alleged threats to his life by suspected government officials over his recent publication and revelation. Reverend Ali Dikwa, in a recent press statement, revealed that Northeast political leaders have turned the Northeast Development Commission into milking cow industry, alleging that the Vice President Kashim Shettima alone had withdrawn 13 billion naira from the commission without the consent of President Bola Tinubu. Titled "The Aftermath of My Recent Press Releases, Especially on NEDC is the milking cow to the Northeast political cohorts, among others. The whistleblower and Kanuri man rights activist explained that his life has come under threat, especially by politicians from Kanuri dynasty who happen to be his own brothers, due to the release. In a statement dated 26 March 2024, personally signed and made available to correspondents recently, Reverend Ali Dikwa alleged that he had several attacks on phone calls and physically in Maiduguri, his hometown, and outside, adding that he has evidence about the 13 billion naira withdrawn by the Vice President Kashim Shettima from the NEDC account. Mr. Ugochukwu, quickly, what do you have to say to this? What do you
I am very much interested in this particular article.
Okay.
This particular interests me. You know, it was here I sat down and vehemently opposed the creation of the Southeast Development Commission.
You did. I
So immediately I saw this, I was so interested in the news and I made further research.
Okay.
So it's not far-fetched. That is why the youthful politicians in Nigeria cannot grow. Look at what happened in in Senegal. You know, most of them just only position themselves for them to be given SA, SSA, and PA. How will you grow? Now somebody came out, a whistleblower. You are now sending threat messages. You are now threatening him that, you know, in Nigeria is a question of he's a thief, but this is our own thief. No kill our thief for us. So far in they go out, thief come back. Yeah? You know the thief for house. Let him go. No be people the thief from. That is our bane. And it will continue to our bane if we don't purge ourselves from this kind of unguided acts. See, this NDE, I was even defending them that very day. Is it not true? I said that I know that the NEDC will fly in the north, yes, but the Southeast Development Commission will not fly. And I gave instances why it will not yield the desired impact. I also gave an example of what has happened to NDDC in the South-South. And also what has happened to the 13% oil derivation. There's a lot of money in Nigeria. There's a lot of money in Nigeria. I don't know why people come out, they begin to defend the things that are you cannot fathom how to defend them. People sit before the government, sit before cameras, and they tell lies to Nigerians. A lot of monies are flying around, and nobody can account for them. That is why people want to die to get to power or to be at the corridors of power. Look at the destructions that happened in the northeast and northwest. That is what came out, why they came out with this, to start repairing those places. Like I've made mention that the governor of Borno State, what brought him to power was because he did a project in the school he was managing, and then the former governor, Kashim Shettima, now picked him and said, be in charge of the fund to reconstruct the damaged portions of our state. But look at this one. The government votes a lot of monies there, and now the second citizen of the country has been accused of withdrawing 13 billion, which if you look at the money, it is a paltry sum to the monies that they pocket and arrogate to themselves. The whistleblower, why not, if you know that the person is accusing you wrongly, go to the court. If he has blown the whistle, let EFCC and the ICPC do their job. Then let the commission, from where the monies have been disbursed, let the president call for forensic audit, although the one they did in NDDC, we did not see the report here today. So these are the things we could sweep it under the carpet once you can settle those around and nothing is happening. So if we continue to allow monies to fly like this, these are commissions meant for the development of the people. And mind you, that some senators and House of Representatives from those particular geopolitical zone are not going back to their constituents. They don't go back to their villages. I even wonder where elections, I've been questioning this, where the elections that continue to return them to the National Assembly are being conducted. INEC has a lot of questions to answer. Right. So, in this material time, a whistleblower in the person of Reverend Ali Dikpa has raised the issue. This is what we are seeing that happened to the budget pardon in the House of Assembly, where Nengi immediately was shut down and nothing has been heard about the pardon. If this man has not come out in the open and brought this allegation to the fore, we won't know what is happening. Let the federal government constitute an immediate investigative panel of inquiry and ascertain where the whole monies they have disbursed from the counterpart funding, from European Union, from NMPC, from CBN, all the monies, they will trace the money, and they will also look at the things that have been done in those areas and be able to, whether they are in tandem, they will get where the missing monies lie.
All right. Honorable Churchill, quickly.
I want to just go direct to Reverend Ali Dakwa has just made it very open for people to know that his life is at risk. A threat to life, mostly when it comes to government, is a very serious one. Because if anything happens to that man now, if anything, direct or indirect, happens to that man now, it will go direct because of what has happened. So this is a very serious matter that needs a serious attention, because his life is involved. Now, concerning the commission, you know, when they were talking about creating commission because NDDC was created, every other geopolitical zone, they want to come and create commission. I talked about that. I said it's very, very bad. They should know why NDDC was created. NDDC was created because God blessed us from the south with so much oil. We are not getting food the way we are supposed to get it, because all our land was filled with oil. People were suffering. So they said, okay, for them to give these people some percentage from this their oil that is sustaining the whole country, let them create a commission for them to manage the money. But that commission is not even working. People use that commission as an avenue to steal and maintain their own family. Yes. But what we are saying is that this particular commission that has been created for the North, I did not see anything that they are contributing. There is nothing they are contributing in the North to the development of the North. So if this man will blow, this Reverend Ali will blow that this kind of money has been moved out from this commission without any person knowing, I said, what I am saying is that it should be critically looked into. It should be critically looked into.
Now, looking at the person involved, the vice president, do you think there will be political will to actually investigate?
That is where the problem is.
That's where the problem, that's the crux of the matter.
Because we are out of time, do you actually see justice being done in this case? Looking at the person involved, the vice president.
Yes, I believe that the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria has a political will to do anything, because he's a no-nonsense man. So he should be the one to follow up this matter, to find out, because his name is the one to be ridiculed. Is his name, because he is the head of he is the leader and the head of the administration so far as Nigeria is concerned now. So he should look into this matter and find out the truth about it.
Why will this money not be followed? It is crystal clear that when you come to the northeast now, the wars are still raging. So where are they developing? Where are they building? So for this man to make this statement, their monies has moved. Because not even there. Where are the infrastructures? Where are the things are they doing with the monies in that commission? Now they are now sharing the money, because the commission hitherto was meant for the boys.
All right, we are out of time, and this is where we close shop for today on this episode of Open Air. Thank you so much, Honorable Churchill Wale, for coming. It's always a pleasure having you on Open Air. And thank you, Mr. Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu. It's always a pleasure.
It's my pleasure to be here, especially on Sunday Open Air.
Oh, thank you so much.
Have a wonderful Sunday ahead.
All right. You can always follow us and stay connected to us on all Atlantic Television Network socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia Achoma. See you the same time tomorrow.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Access to our money will put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth: the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports,